Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest movie review by the Nola Nerds. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And this is our review of DC Animated's new premiere feature, Superman vs. the Elite.
Yeah.
More commonly known, Superman's Chin vs. the Elite.
Jeez. Okay, the animation, we're going to talk about it. Its action sequences is really good. When there's no action sequences, it's really weird.
And it's not so much the animation as the decision to draw Superman the way they did.
Yeah.
He has got a Jay Leno chin that looks like a butt on his face.
Yeah. His chin is huge. His shoulders and upper body are more rounded, but still like super muscular.
But it's really the chin that draws you out.
Yeah,
that's
weird.
That's the one that you keep focusing on because he's never had that much of a cleft chin.
No.
Really throws me off.
I mean, it's super cleft.
That said, like you mentioned briefly, the animation during fight scenes is phenomenal.
Right.
Their fight choreography for these movies has progressively gotten better.
Well, that's because they keep getting better people do it. Remember Superman Doomsday?
Yeah.
That
was the first one.
Yeah.
Look at Superman Doomsday to Superman vs. the Elite. That is way different.
That's a big jump.
Now, full disclosure, Chris and I have not read the issue of Action Comics. I think it's 775.
Yeah.
What's so funny about Truth, Justice, and the American Way? Which is kind of crazy considering this entire movie is based on a single issue, not like an arc.
We weren't reading comics. This was 2001.
Yeah.
So basically, the plot of the movie is there's a new team of anti-heroes who are going to fight violence with violence, and they have no trouble killing bad guys and asserting their will. And Superman is trying to reason with them that there is a
better way.
A better way.
Believe in the hope of humanity's better half.
Yeah, believe in the good that humanity can do.
And in being more of a parallel to today's world, with terrorism and everything, and people's response to that, the elite's view is, these are people that kill on a massive scale. Why should we let them live?
It's the Boondock Saints.
Yeah, it's not like they're murdering car thieves. They're murdering terrorists and
terrorists.
A lot of terrorists.
Yeah.
And of course that leads to the classic fight between Superman and the Elite, where the Elite think he's too outdated, and it's time they impose martial law on this world. And the way they do it is so. This is a dark and brutal movie.
This may be the second darkest behind Under the Red Hood. I thought Red Hood was pretty dark.
Oh, it was.
I think this is darker than that.
I mean, just to give you one brief glimpse of the what's his name?
Manchester Black.
Manchester Black. I want to call him Chesterfield, and I don't know why. He's got psionic powers, and he uses it to lift one terrorist up and crush his bones at every conceivable wrong angle that it's not supposed to break at.
And rip knowledge from his mind.
Oh, Miss Martian style. Just rip what he needs from someone's mind with no worry of the consequences, leaving him catatonic, bleeding from the face.
Every orifice on the face.
He is. And then the other members of the Elite, we have Menagerie, who is just a big old hoe of the week there.
She is a woman that controls serpents and can make them do whatever she wants.
And stuff, and they just bore into people, and
they can be used for offensive or defensive. She just shapes them however she wants.
And she has a mat-on for the hots for Superman's penis. She does.
But she's also dating Coldcast, who is this giant black man with electric powers, energy powers.
Yeah, he can absorb and redirect and emit energy.
He's probably the least developed of the Elite.
He is. He comes off as the most stereotypical. Now, the one that we really took a liking to is Hat. He's a magic anti-hero who can just take his hat off and pretty much just will anything he needs into existence, like giant frost wizards
and demons and holes.
Yeah. Demons like giant dragons and stuff, or his personal favorite, bottles of booze so he can drink on the battlefield.
That's my favorite part, is that he's just sitting around, just drinking, and just being like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, he was probably he was a lot of fun. I mean, Black is, of course, the most developed because he's the leader of the bunch. But Hat gets a lot of fun, just visual gags, because he's always in the background, just floating in midair, drinking his wine. And it's a lot. He's a lot of fun. The main gist of this is the Elite's version winning everyone over, and Superman trying to show the world that it can be done in a better way. You don't have to murder bad guys. And the main foil of this is the supervillain Atomic Skull, and probably his most badass appearance I have ever seen him in.
Yeah, I mean, he was He showed up for a couple of episodes of Justice League Unlimited, where he fought Wildcat in that one episode,
and when he teamed up with everyone to fight off the invasion.
Yeah, and he was all right.
But this Atomic Skull is a real threat, and you start to wonder why isn't he a bigger villain, because he was fucking badass in this movie.
I love the fact that when he was captured for the first time in the movie, they tied him up to a generator to power the city.
Yep, he's like, oh, you powered your own dinner.
Yeah.
You cooked your own dinner. You should be thankful. But I mean, and he had a cool twist where the more time he had to absorb his power, the bigger he got, just physically bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And so he got to the point where he was actually hurting Superman, and it was just. There was a great visual for how he killed people, too.
Yeah, where he just turned them to dust.
Oh, I mean, he was a great villain, even though he was just more the plot device to get Superman into conflict with the elite.
Exactly.
There's also a side conflict brewing in the fake Middle Eastern countries of D.C., like Bialya and Turkestan. I just can't remember the actual name.
I don't either.
But Bialya, as everyone knows from if you've read anything Black Adam related, is a big one.
Yeah.
But the Elite and Superman intervene in a war that's about to brew between the two terrorist countries, and that serves another plot point. Without giving too much away, because we're not about spoilers, but the fight scenes are incredible.
Very brutal, especially the ending fight scene
between the Elite and Superman. It's done. We're not going to tell you what happens. But when Superman fights back, it's incredible.
It is.
Oh, good times. Especially how he devises Batman-esque plans to take out everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that was nice.
Well, my only real point, I don't know how spoiler we can get with this, is that initially the Elite are offing bad guys left and right, and the crowd is immediately on their side. And the second Superman shows them the next logical step, they all are like, "Oh no, that's weird."
Yeah, the real.
It seems like kind of a quick turn.
Well, the real crux of it is, without giving too much away, when Superman gives the people what they want to the next level, they realize what a slippery slope it is, and the fear brings them back to rationality, because they were caught up in the mob mentality of it all. You know,
sheeple.
The voice acting was well done. Tim Daly back as Superman, wasn't he?
No,
I could have sworn that sounded just like him.
I think that was George Newbern.
Who?
George Newbern.
I don't know who that is.
He's a guy who does
Okay.
acting.
What'd you? Well, all right. Without knowing the actual names, who did you enjoy?
I actually liked Lois Lane a lot in this.
Really?
Yeah.
She was the one I liked the least. She's from NCIS.
She's from NCIS. She's the goth chick from NCIS.
So it is George Newbern. Okay.
Yeah.
He did a really good Tim Daly impression.
Yeah.
The entire time I thought he was the classic the classic Superman guy, but
yeah, no, I mean, I really liked her a lot. I thought she brought a lot to this role that a lot of other Lois Lanes. I mean, the best one is obviously the one from Superman, the animated series. But
that's why he sounded familiar. George Newbern is the one that actually voiced Superman in the Justice League cartoon.
Yeah.
Because Tim Daly
was busy.
He did the Superman shows and then the actual movies.
And they did The Fugitive.
Right. But okay, that's why he sounded so familiar. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I thought she was really good in this, actually.
Okay, I did not like her at all. But we'll agree to disagree. And, of course, the fact that they got David Kaufman back as Jimmy Olsen, who was the classic original Jimmy Olsen on the original show, better known for us as Danny Phantom.
But he didn't really do a whole hell of a lot.
No, he didn't. But it was just, it's the nice little touches when they bring back familiar cast members to play bit parts. Lois Lane is one of the people that they continually recast. It doesn't even matter.
No, because they're always trying to get on the new hot actress.
You were going to say new hotness.
Well, I was, but I couldn't figure out a way to make it.
And then right here, a guy called Robin Atkin Downs. He was a Manchester Black who had the biggest new role. Because the other characters didn't have much. I don't really know what he's...
I think he's mostly...
Oh, he's been in How to Train Your Dragon. There you go.
Gears of War.
Sure. Okay. Well, whatever. The voice acting on a whole was very solid.
Yes, as they are. Any movie with
Andrea Romano as voice actor or voice director on any of these WB projects, you just know you're going to get a solid cast.
Exactly.
I mean, every time they do a Batman one, they're like, it's not Kevin Conroy. You're like, oh no, it's going to be terrible. And then it turns out it's great.
Yeah.
She's not going to ruin
No
Batman.
scrubs.
No, she doesn't mess around.
Do we want to talk about the preview for Dark Knight Rises?
Does have. Let's talk.
Dark Knight Returns.
Let's talk briefly about the special features. One of which is every time a new movie comes out, they touch upon their next project, and the next one is Part 1 of Dark Knight Returns,
which looks fantastic.
Oh,
and
absolutely! And
interesting.
who do they have voicing?
Voicing Batman for this is Peter Weller, who was the original RoboCop, who sounds like he's been gargling molten gravel for years.
Oh, it's so good.
He sounds perfect.
And I love the fact that they actually got like a 12-year-old girl to voice the female Robin.
Yeah, as opposed to like Tara Strong, who's just always made a career of voicing 12-year-olds.
But it looks fantastic. I mean, in classic preview look, it's mostly storyboards, not much actual animation.
Very little.
You got a couple of brief shots to show you how good it's really going to look. But I'm really excited to see this.
Yeah, I'm very curious because Dark Knight Returns is the white whale of adaptation.
This is
the biggest dog in the yard.
This is Bruce Timm saying, "I can fucking do anything."
Yeah.
And you know what? The fact that he let them break it up into two so that nothing feels cut out or rushed is going to be a huge deal.
I'm actually waiting more for Part 2.
Well, everyone is, because that's the climax stuff instead of the build-up stuff. That's that's going from Lord of the Rings to Return of the King.
That's fine.
I mean, Fellowship of the Ring. You know what I mean.
That's fine.
But some of the other features are you get, of course, a couple like top picks from the old animated canon, and you get the one where Man of Tomorrow, I think it was called, or World of Tomorrow.
Is the
one with the
alternate universe where Lois Lane dies and Superman turns
Nazi evil. There was another one called Warrior Princess or something. We haven't actually watched them yet, but Superman.
We have them all on regular DVD. We didn't really need to watch them for this.
What's really cool though is lately they've been giving digital comics of the stories they're based on, but it's always issue 1 because they just want to hook you in so that you go buy it on your actual apps. Now, what's really cool is that you get this. And since this entire story was based off of one issue of Action, you get the entire book it's based on. Mm-hmm. So that I give it bonus points for because that's really cool to finally get the full, complete story in digital comic form. You get another cool thing, a couple other ones where it's like a breakdown of Superman's moral structure and how it fits into today's
usual
society.
Amount of documentaries.
You get a really cool one about like who are the elite, and it's a breakdown of the characters and who they are, and another couple standard stuff. All in all, very nice special features, and I'm a fan of it. This is probably, I'm going to say, the best Superman-centric animated movie they've done.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I'll throw it in my top 5 of DC animated.
And that's a big deal considering how many there's been. And we've always been pretty hard on Superman ones because they're usually so generic and boring.
Yeah,
and this one was really well done.
I was trying to think of the last one, which was Doom.
And it wasn't even a Superman one, though. I think the last one, wasn't it Absolute?
No, well, that was the one with, I don't know. It was either Supergirl or Absolute.
No. It was Absolute Superman.
Which was great. But the others before that, less so.
Right. But
what are your top 5 right now?
Still includes Wonder Woman, Emerald Knights, Justice League, the one with Owlman. I'm forgetting the name of it now. Two Worlds. Did I say Red Hood?
No.
Red Hood. And I guess, man, now I'm blanking on it. Maybe this one, but then I'm kicking out New Frontier.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be New Frontier, absolute All-Star Superman.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I really like
that's an All-Star Superman.
All-Star Superman.
That one I did not enjoy that much.
Red Hood.
Right.
Crisis on Two Worlds, and I guess this one.
Okay.
For now.
I really liked Emerald Knights. That one was a really good one.
Oh.
See, that's why I threw Emerald Knights in there. That was that.
No, it was Wonder Woman.
Oh, you cut out Wonder Woman now?
I cut out Wonder Woman.
Oh. All right.
Wonder Woman's still good. Don't let this be any judge.
No, what you know what we should do one day? Right before Dark Knight comes out, we should rank the movies on this.
Staff meeting.
Okay, cool. Well, time is running out. Why don't we give it a grade out of 10? What do we give it? I'm giving it a 9. I really enjoy this Superman movie.
Yeah, I'll give it a 9 too.
All right, well, there you have it. Definitely worth a shot, even if you've never read the subject matter, because we came in completely unknowing and fresh on this.
Yep.
But there we go. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
We're the Nola Nerds, and this has been our review of Superman vs. the Elite. And we watched it on Blu-ray. Fucking watch it on Blu-ray if you have the chance. Any animated movie is super crisp on it.
Yeah.
So there we go. Peace! No, that's lame. I apologize.